Hello, welcome to this lesson of study of absolute value problems. Okay, so in this lesson we just go through some more examples of absolute value problems. Okay, all right. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe. Okay, so like I said, we're just going through more examples of absolute value equation problem. Okay, so it's absolute value equation. Okay. Alright, so let's start with the first question. It says solve for x in the equation 2 times absolute of 4x minus 1 equals 6. With this, if you remember in our first discussion, we said that what you do is you first isolate. So to isolate this, okay, I have absolute of 2 times absolute of this equals 6. To isolate this, I have to divide through by 2. So I have absolute of 4x minus 1 is equal to 3. Now with this is what a positive value is equal to a positive value. So what you can do is, first of all, you move the brackets and you solve, or you move the absolute sign, you solve it linearly like this. Therefore x equals 3 plus 1, that is 4, means x will be equal to 1. Now the second one is what? The second condition is remove, since it is a positive, so remove it and be equated to what? The opposite of the right value, the value at the right side. Okay, now with this I have 4x equals negative 3 plus 1, that will give you negative 2, means x is equal to negative half. Okay, so these two solutions are the solutions for the question above. Okay, so x is equal to, for this, x is equal to 1 or negative 1 over 2. Or you can say negative 1 over 2 or 1, anyhow you want to do it. Okay, so that is the solution to this question. Now let's go to the next one. Find x if absolute of x squared minus 4 is equal to negative 4. Now you don't need to think about this, because the equation is, the absolute value is what? Equal to a negative value. So then with this, from our previous discussion, we said that when the absolute value is equal to a negative value, what you do is you actually say that it has no solution. Okay, no solution to this. Okay, if you don't understand anything that I'm writing here, you can go to our previous lesson on absolute value problems, especially absolute value equation problems. Then you can read through or go through what I gave there, the steps I gave in the values or the conclusions you can make when the right side of the absolute equation, especially when you have the absolute isolated at the left side, then you check the value at the right side and you can conclude. Either you go forward to solve, it depends on the value there, the sign of the value there. Okay, so let's continue. Now the second one, or the third one, you have find x in the equation x squared plus 9x plus 14 equals 0. Now since this is equal to 0, all that you do is what? Remove the absolute value symbols. Okay, then you just solve it linearly. Okay, so this is the quadratic equation, and with the quadratic we said that you find the product of the coefficient of x squared and the constant. The coefficient of x squared is what? 1. Here is 1. So you multiply it to the constant 14. Then you find the factors that when you multiply you get 14, but when you add you get this 9. Okay, and the factors are 7 times 2, it will give me 14. Then 7 plus 2 will give me 9. So these will be the factors we need. Okay, all right, I hope you understand this. So now with this one, what you do is, first of all, you just break it like that into 2x plus 7x. Okay, you break the 9x into those two factors, and plus 14 equals 0. And secondly, you just group them in a bracket like this, plus in one bracket 7x plus 14 equals 0. Then you factor x out, so you have x plus 2 plus 7 out, x plus 2 as well equals 0. So with the factor, you have x plus 2 here, x plus 2 here, so you can factor that x plus 2 out, So I have x plus 2. Now what will be left here? It will be x, and what will be left here is 7 plus 7. Okay? That is why you always say this, that this is what you do. So with these two equations, these two brackets given, okay, what you can do is, the two brackets is what? X plus 2 in one bracket, x plus 7 in another bracket. Okay, when you get to quadratic equation, I will treat it one day, then I'll give you a shortcut in solving such questions. You wouldn't be going through all these tedious work, but then with this, let's go through it step by step. Okay, so first of all, you take x plus 2 equals 0, or s plus 7 equals 0, because if you have product of two functions giving you 0, it means either one of them is 0. Okay, or all of them equals 0. Now when all of them equals 0, it means we have 0 equals 0, and that doesn't make sense. So it means either one will be equal to 0. So is either s plus 2 that is equal to 0, or s plus 7 that is also equal to 0. Either one of them. So you solve them like that. So x equals -2, or x equals -7. Now with a quadratic equation like that, with this, you can go ahead and test them and see those that are working. Okay, so you have to test and see. Come and put -2 there and check if it works. If indeed when I put -2, I'll get what? -2 is equal to 4, then minus, because 9 times -2 will give me -18, so -18 plus 14, that will give me absolute of 0, and that will be equal to 0 indeed. When I put 7 there, will it also work? Okay, so you check all those tabs and see the ones that are giving you the answer. Okay, so we can go ahead and check the 7, but if you check, both of them will work. Okay, so this is the solution, this is also a solution. So you see that x is this or that. Now let's go to another question. Okay, now solve for x in the equation absolute of x squared plus 1 equals 2x. Now to solve this is very simple. Okay, since we have an expression at the right side, although the absolute is isolated, but we have an expression at the right side, what you do is you just remove the brackets. Okay, you solve it in two ways. That is the hint I'm giving you. So x squared plus 1 equals 2x. Then you solve this, so it becomes x squared, okay, x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 0. Now with this, if I pick the factors I will need, because the coefficient of this is 1, when I multiply it to the constant, I'll get 1. Okay, so the product will be 1, and then the factors I need is -1 times -1. I'll get 1. Indeed, when I add them, I'll get -2. So I need -1 and -1. Okay, so what I'll get is x squared minus x plus 1 equals 0. So I have to group them like that. Then with this one, I have minus into x plus, when I do it plus, it becomes minus, so I have to do it like this, so that when I expand this side, I'll get back this. Okay, I hope you understand it. And now this will give me x out, x minus 1, the -1 out, x minus 1. It means that I'll have x minus 1 out, then I'll be getting x minus 1. So I have two functions squared. Okay, so I have x minus 1 squared equals 0. So I find square root of both, so I have x minus 1 equals 0, and x is equal to 1. Okay, so from there I have only x equals 1, so I have to put it there. Okay, from one side I have to put it there. Then what you do is, the second one is, so here I have x equals 1. Okay, so now with the second one, I have, it's the same thing that I'm coming to solve. Okay, but we'll do it in two ways, like I said. So the second way is you remove the absolute value symbol and you negate the other one. That is the only problem we have. Okay, so x squared then plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. Now when you go through the process of finding the factors here or solving this equation quadratically, you can point this on a calculator. I have a video on how to use this for quadratic, so you can check. I'll link the video below in the comment section, the link to the video, so that you know how to use the calculator straight away. Okay, So x will give you, or this will give you x equals -1. Okay, so this will give you -1. Only one solution like that. So now with this, you have to test them and see. Okay, so when x equals, this is actually the question. The question that was given is this. Okay, the question was this: absolute of s squared plus 1 should be equal to 2x. Okay, so now we have two solutions. We have, in the two ways, we have x equals 1 and okay, s equals -1. Okay, so you have to test these. When x equals 1, I have absolute of 1 squared, which is 1 plus 1. We are saying it should be equal to 2 times 1. Okay, 2x. So I have absolute of 2 should be equal to 2. And this is indeed true. So when x is 1, the solution is actually true. So we have to keep that 1. And then come and test for the other one. When x equals -1, absolute of -1 squared will give me what? 1 plus 1 should be equal to 2 times -1. And this will be absolute of 2, and it should be equal to -2. This is not true. This is false, because absolute of any number is not equal to, actually absolute of 2 is equal to 2, so this is false. Since this is false, the solution, this x equals -1, is also false. So it means that the solution to this question will be only one solution. Okay, and indeed we have only one solution, since we are dealing with how do you call it, equal to, actually there's no equal to 0 here, so it's just a matter of what, the square inside. Okay, so the solution is x equals 1. That is the only solution. This is false. Okay, so let's move ahead and see what we have for you here. I have this for you to try. Okay, try find x in the equation absolute of x minus 1 equals this: x squared plus 4x minus 5. Okay, so with this, the hint I've given here is set two equations, and the answers are this. The two equations: first of all, remove the absolute value, solve it linearly like this. Secondly, remove the absolute values and negate the whole of this, okay, and solve it. And after that, you come and test. You have to test them, and the solution that will be required is x equals 6 or x equals 1. Okay, thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed, so that you can support the channel, and also comment, like, and share my videos for others as well. Okay, see you next time.